Iranians have a proverb in Persian. They say, you smell from the vase whatever is in the vase. Okay, so if it's jam, it smells like jam. If it's vinegar, it smells like vinegar. And this is hardly surprising because the big companies behind this AI, whether it is ChatGPT or now it's Google Bard, these are staffed predominantly with left-wing, left-leaning people, the so-called woke, in the Silicon Valley. That's the old usual big tech. So we are seeing the same trend that we used to see with mainstream media or legacy media, and then social media, and then, of course, the big tech's search engines were biased, have been accused of bias. And now the latest invention, which is AI and ChatGPT.
So you're saying the people who work there have a bias in one way or another, the woke, we'll call them the woke literati. But as well as that, as Philip mentions, if they're scooping the internet for data and ideas and content, it's got the same thing. So you're saying the whole of the internet, where they're searching for it, has got a left bias.
Exactly, because that personnel has trained the bots to go for the right information, and we already know what kind of right information they are going to use. So obviously, by definition, they dip into a very wide pool of information on the internet. But they have already established what kind of information is correct, what kind of information is toxic or incorrect in their opinion.
Have you got examples of this? Because people could be saying we're speaking hypothetically.
No, it's not. Well, this has been. There are some funny videos on the internet. American conservative commentator, as early as maybe 6-7 months ago, he tried ChatGPT actually, and now we're talking about Google Bard, and he's put a nice video there, and there are others as well. You go on there, you ask ChatGPT, or in this case with the Daily Mail investigation, Google Bard. Okay, what is a woman? Then other issues, Brexit, the UK questions. What do you think about Jeremy Corbyn, or what do you think about Brexit? American questions, did Trump win? Did Trump lose? Was Trump clever? Is Joe Biden clever? And in all these cases, you see there's a slant towards the left-leaning opinion.
So why are people doing that? Is it a financial reward? Is it just the way we're going and actually the left will dominate the world eventually? I mean, why?
Well, there used to be a time when some of us who were maybe more optimistic thought, oh, these college kids, they are in their college bubbles with their safe spaces, and, you know, feelings are more important than facts and all that. But they'll get to the corporate world, they'll get into the real world, and they will wise up. It didn't happen. It's not working, is it? Because now they have walked into the corporate world, and they are turning or transforming the corporates into their own image and likeness. So that's really the danger. Corporates are going woke.
I mean, lots of people say, you know, all the comedians all seem to be left-wing as well. Is it that, or is it just that by definition comedians are maybe young people who are behind this, are anti-establishment? Mm-hmm. And because in this country we've had conservative prime ministers for 13 years, it's inevitable that comedy and young people who are anti-establishment will be, in effect, therefore portrayed as left-wing. Whereas if there'd been a Labour prime ministers for 13 years, they probably would be seen as being right-wing because they're just anti-establishment.
Well, very good point. But who is the establishment, and what does the establishment really want? OK, the UK is a bit of an anomaly because we've had conservatives in power for almost 13 years. And in my opinion, no disrespect to Esther, they haven't been very conservative. but apart from that, generally in the West, if you look at what establishment is and what establishment wants, who is the real punk rock and who is the real rebel nowadays? If you look at net zero, if you look at gender politics, if you look at what the US government is saying in terms of LGBT narrative or climate change or whatever, actually the ones who question these ideas are now the punk rocks or the rebels.